Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome to another beer review. It's getting colder. By the time this airs, who knows? You might have some snow on the ground. It sure is getting colder in here. I've yet to insulate my ceiling upstairs, but I did get some amazing donations today from some good people for some extra insulation that I could add on. Now the only thing that I have left to do to survive the winter in here will be getting a heater, which will be next on the list of things to get. But again, big shout out to Maxim and Brendan for hooking me up with some awesome insulation. Also, huge shout out to David Gahan and for putting together the amazing intro that I've got in the show. Finally have something that makes sense now instead of just a blank image. So a big shout out to David Gahan and everybody else who have been really helping me out lately. Also Fred Guitar from Secas and la Cave for giving me a bunch of tips and tricks on how to get the best optimization from the camera. I'm really enjoying the new gear. This is new lighting, new everything, new mics. Everything is coming together quite well. It's been a busy couple of weeks, but I'm happy to have back the routine down and getting some beer drinking. And speaking of beer, I've got a beer here with me today that I haven't had in, it's been a few years. At least a few years, because I'm thinking back at the moments because I had spoken about this beer before to people that were that were interested in beer. Anyway, I was talking about this beer and I remember the events that I was talking about it. Those events happened a few years back, so it's definitely been a while. Actually, they've changed the packaging format, so I don't know when they've done that, but I'm sure there's someone from this brewery that I'm about to showcase to you guys will let me know when they started canning this amazing beer. But yeah, it's no secret. I've had this beer before, but it's been a long time and I haven't had it in cans yet. So very excited. It's an exciting night tonight in the studio. So without further ado, let's showcase the beer that I'm tasting tonight. It is the Sydney Street Oatmeal Stout from Gahan. Absolutely wonderful beer. Very happy to see it on the shelves at AMBL in the province. Which I'm sure that they will be more than likely available throughout the entire province. Gahan is pretty present. I know that it is pardon me. I'll be coughing a little bit. I'm on the tail end of a cold. And if you've been watching my podcast for the past year or so, you know that when I start to cough, I will be coughing for at least a few weeks. Anyway, back to the subject of beer. Gahan. They are very present in New Brunswick. If I'm not mistaken, they've got a location in St. John and also a location in Moncton. I've not been to the location in PEI, but I've been to the location in Moncton. Absolutely wonderful place. Their selection of food and drink is absolutely amazing. I'm a big fan of their food. But one thing that I will mention that stands out for me very much is that they've got some beer there available to go. And most of the time, there's a lot of products there that's not available at AMBL. So exclusively to that location. So anyway, make sure to check them out. They're on Moncton, just off of Main Street. I'm not sure exactly what the street name exactly is. Brand new building. I believe it's next to the Experience AMBL store. Anyway, great restaurant. Make sure to check them out. If you're in PEI, even better, go check out their brewery and their we'll call it their headquarters. Anyway, and if you're in St. John, if I'm not mistaken, that's where they're at, the other place in New Brunswick, and I'm thinking they might have a location in Nova Scotia as well. So anyway, regardless, very awesome company, huge company, making absolutely awesome beer. I've been a fan of their beers. They're also the people behind the Colliding Tides. I've spoken quite a bit about their gin twist. I'm not much to drink on those types of beverages, but the Colliding Tide gin twist is absolutely amazing. It's definitely one of my favorites, a summer crusher for sure. But now it's getting colder. We'll call it stout season, but stout is good any time of the year, regardless of the weather, whether it's warm or it's cold or whatever it is. Stouts are good. So this one here is an oatmeal stout, being that it should be a little bit smoother. Oatmeal stouts tend to be easier to drink, more full body, more approachable, I would say. People tend to think that darker beers are stronger beers, harder to drink. Definitely not the case when it comes to oatmeal stouts. Actually, it's pretty well never the case. You know, darker beers are more than likely easier to drink than a West Coast IPA, which is not dark at all. Anyway, for people that are starting out are starting to venture really into the craft beer world or just the diversified beers, you know, try a stout, try an oatmeal stout, try this one here, the Sydney Street Oatmeal Stout. It's a great one to start off with. I find it's a great beer. At least it was back then when I had it in bottles. It's been a few years. I can't imagine that it's gotten worse. It was a great beer back then. So it can only go better from there on. So without further ado, let's pour it into the glass and see what they've been up to. Got my trusty gym line glass. Definitely not the conventional glass for a stout, but it's the glass that I had available. And that's how it goes sometimes. Well, my pour did give me quite a bit of a big head, but definitely rich, dark color, looking great. Nice notes of dark chocolate, coffee as well. Really looking forward to taking a sip of this beer that I haven't had in so long. You know, if you see it on the shelves, I'm going to tell you right now, without tasting it, try it out, go and get it. You know, who knows when we'll have it again. It's a great beer. Buy 6, buy 8. I know I didn't buy just one. I bought about 6 of them. Doesn't fail. It's a great beer. Still is. After all this time. This is great. It's thick, full-bodied, nice, robust coffee bitterness and dark chocolate bitterness in the back end. Very good beer. Coming in at 5.2 ABV. Just in the sweet spot where you like to see a stout. A little bit of sweetness to it. Very good. Very tasty. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Gahan. You guys should be too. If you haven't had their products yet, you know what to do. Go and try it out. And we'll show you the can one more time. Check it out if you see it in the ANBLs. Or if you're lucky enough to be close to one of their locations, either in New Brunswick or PEI, go in there, check it out. Have some food, have some beer, and it'll sure to be a good time. Cheers, and we'll see you next time.